My name is Jocelyn Enriquez Mactasadia, but in the industry, people know me as Jocelyn Enriquez, born and raised in San Francisco, California, but now living in San Antonio, Texas.
So how did you start your music career?
Well, music has always been a big part of my life. As long as I could remember, I've always loved music. I remember lots of stories, or my parents putting me on top of a coffee table and I would just sing whatever song is being played on the radio. But I also studied music with the San Francisco Girls Chorus, which is a very renowned choir or girls chorus, young women's chorus in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I studied music there. But it wasn't until right after high school where I caught my big break. I happened to be at the right time, at the right place, and somebody got a glimpse of a cover I was doing with a full band, dancers and everything. And it was actually the producer of the songwriter of the song. They got a hold of it and they called me in for an interview and asked me if I wanted to record a single or a song. And I mean, literally, it was pretty much like a overnight story. I was in the studio and then heard my song on the radio within days, and then a week after that I was touring. So it went pretty fast, and it was something that I've always wanted to do. So, I would pretend, do a lot of role playing, if you will, of having a stage. But, with the girls, with the experience of girls chorus and even singing in my parents' band, where I would just sing at local Phil-Am parties, I got my exposure there. So I was pretty familiar with the stage, but it wasn't until right after high school where I actually got to record my very first song, which in turn became my single, led to an album, and yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty much it's written in the book, so.
Yeah, how did you go about producing the record?
Well, back in the day, I didn't really, I was green as can be, so I was like, whatever it takes to, get my name out there, to be a recording artist. So the funny thing is, when I first walked into the studio, this was before I had signed with my label. I had told them that I loved to sing slow songs. I was a balladeer, but at that time, dance music, in particular freestyle music, was very heavily populated in the radio, and on radio. So they were like, why don't you try this? And it was such a perfect fit. I don't know if I had done another genre of music, if I would have gotten the same level of success, if you will, if I had done something else. So I was very grateful, with the knowledge and even the chance that my record label took on to say, hey, I know you want to do this, but let's try this. And it couldn't come at a perfect time.
Do you know about any of the copyrights?
Do I know of the copyrights? No, I don't know much other than I didn't write my songs. So the songwriters that wrote majority of my songs, 20 years ago, they had their own publishing. So it's either ASCAP or BMI, and I know that they're still around. So it's a lot different with how music industry is run now versus 20 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you know, how did you go about promoting yourself?
Okay, so back in the day, we didn't have accessibility to social media. We didn't have social media, so a lot of the grinding was to go and put yourself out there. So we would always be traveling, going, from radio station to radio station, doing ball networks, meet and greets, just so that people would be able to put a name to the face. And so as far as promotions, it was a big thing. I mean, my record label would hire different regional street teams, people that believed in the music, believed in the artist, and would go out in the streets, You know, maybe it would be at a university, at a party, at a concert venue, saying, hey, have you heard of so-and-so? Have you heard of so-and-so? So a lot of the work back in the day was really just getting your name out there and really laboring, if you will.